This is not a partisan investigation. The Hillary information, Hillary supporters are going to be taken every bit as completely as all the rest of the information. And I want to conclude, I'll answer now questions. I want to conclude with this. The noose is tightening for Obama. This information is coming out. There's much more to come out. When you've got a law enforcement investigation, and Sheriff Arpaio, who I think is, he says, you know, billed as the toughest sheriff in America, Sheriff Arpaio says, no, it's really the toughest in the world. He's correcting me on this. This information will come out. People in this room, Commander Kirchner, Mario Puzo, various of the people here who spent years of their own time without compensation, dedicated as citizens to get to the truth. We have to have a standard in this country where the Constitution is respected. And it's going to come about and continue to come about. You know, Marco Rubio, his parents, his father was not naturalized as a citizen when he was born. He's not a natural born citizen.
So don't vote for him. That's right.
We probably won't. I'm certainly going to do everything we can to make that point clear. Same with Bobby Jindal. Both of his born parents were not naturalized. And again, the Constitution does not have any mechanism. It's got a loophole. The Constitution says, Article 2, Section 1, that someone has to be a natural born citizen, but it provides no mechanism, no institution of government to check it. It's responsible for looking at birth credentials. And the challenges that are coming forward in the states are going to continue. I think Barack Obama is going to be faced with eligibility challenge in state after state after state, forcing the Secretary of State to look at birth credentials. And in the process, the law enforcement investigation is going to continue. Barack Obama, if he's going to run for re-election this time, is going to get vetted if WND and I and the others in this room have anything to do about it. We have a microphone that can, for people to ask questions so we can get questions heard. Is there a way to get them?
I don't think so.
Well, or we have people line up over here that want to ask questions and take a bunch of them. I'd like to have people be able to get a microphone over here. Sir, why don't you come on up over here? Come up here and we'll give you the microphone so you can ask your questions. Yes, sir. And again, a few others who want to ask questions, come on up over here on the side and we'll try to get some questions in. I want everybody to hear the question. Okay, so sir, come on over here. Come on. Why don't you tell us your name? I'll bring you over the microphone. Tell me your name.
Thank you for the presentation. The question is, if we can prove that Obama is in fact not a U.S. citizen, does this void out all of his executive orders? Yes. And does that create the office-related chaos manufactured crisis that the left, the Marxists, are part of their playbook? Is this part of what they're trying to do?
First of all, good question, sir. It's not whether he's a citizen. It's whether he's a natural-born citizen. He could be a citizen and not a natural-born citizen. Everybody got that? Yes. Okay. Second, well, the difference is a citizen may be someone like Bobby Jindal, who was born to two parents who were not yet U.S. citizens. A natural-born citizen, in the original meaning of the Constitution, is a person who was born to two parents who are U.S. citizens when they're born, and born in the United States. It's a natural law definition. One second, come on up here, wait 1 second though. Come on up. But secondly, I want to make this point. It isn't a matter, if Obama's ineligible, he should be removed from office, and then in fact I think arguably everything he's done is null and void. And second, the last point I'll make is whether or not there's chaos caused politically by the Democrats or the left for political advantage is not something we should worry about. The United States is capable of handling chaos.
That's right.
We've handled riots, we've handled civil wars, we've handled all kinds of problems I trust the American citizen, I trust our law enforcement, Sheriff Rockford here and others, will protect the laws and the people. We're not going to cower to the fact that somebody might riot as a reason not to uphold the laws. Okay, this is one
I just wanted to say the reason the natural born citizen clause was put in there was very important. It's a national security issue. I'm a retired military officer, 33 years service. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution as all enemies, foreign and domestic. Never thought I'd have to fight a domestic enemy. But the reason it was put in there is the sole allegiance at birth. No foreign allegiances on you by birth. John Jay wrote a letter to General Washington, who was the president of the Constitutional Convention, and requested to be put in there as a strong check against anybody who will become president in the future, who have any foreign influence on them. It was specifically put in there because of the national security clause. And it's sole allegiance at birth. If you're born a dual citizen, you have two allegiances at birth, you're out.
That's exactly right.
I'm not a computer expert. You put up the,
We can't hear you.
when you
Speak
put up,
up.
when you put up the certificate of live birth document, what your manipulations when it was released was the read-only document, or?
Yeah, let me answer that. The question, everybody here, the question is, he says he's not a computer expert, but when the White House put up the birth certificate, was it put up as a read-only document? No, the White House put up a PDF file that could be manipulated within 10 minutes. There were computer experts on the internet saying, this is a forgery. They didn't even think to flatten the document so you couldn't look at the layers. I mean, as been said, I think it's true, it's not only a forgery, it's a bad forgery. It was done in a hurry, and nobody thought to take the steps any prudent forger would take to make sure, but again, if you're going to forge a document in the White House, you can't put out a request for proposal and say, forger wanted. Top expert, prior criminal experience, no hindrance to employment.
The Monmouth County Tea Party Coalition. I don't understand, again, I think they're putting out a hook because to me it's so stupid for them to create a PDF file with layers. They scan it and it's one layer. A lot of us know that. The TXE. So I see, I'm not saying maybe we're being set up. Obviously what you have here is very interesting, but over the years, I've been a victim, I've been an advocacy for people's rights, and how do you, if he is fraudulent, how are we what's the mechanism to remove him, and are they going to listen to us?
Yeah, everybody hear that? If he's fraudulent, what's the mechanism? It is remarkable that this poor document was put up. And I don't think it's a trap. If it's a trap, the president's trapping himself. In terms of the mechanism, there really is no mechanism he should just be removed. Maybe quo warranto, there are various legal remedies that could be taken. Not impeachment, because you can't impeach somebody who wasn't legitimately in office to begin with. It really is, you could have criminal prosecutions for fraud almost being brought at the same time, quo warranto, and all the actions as president nullified. So again, these are fairly dire consequences, but I think once the American people get it, and I think it's very close to that happening, despite the blackout in the mainstream media. We find a suspect, and we identify a suspect, and we get a confession. These steps are proceeding. And once the American people get it, the American people are going to demand justice. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Corsi. My name is Ken Solch. If there's any Obama agents here, you probably know who I am. I'm also with the Morristown Tea Party, although it's the first time I've been down in this area because I live kind of far away. I'd just like to know the connections, with Obama's parents and the CIA, and one of the top military people in our government now that scrubbed some of the evidence directly dealing with Obama in Kenya.
Those are good questions. The file, Stanley Dunham, the grandfather, we don't have an FBI file and it's been destroyed. The mother worked in Indonesia in the Ford Foundation program doing microfinance in Indonesia. Guess who she worked for? Her boss was Timothy Geithner's father. She also worked for US Aid, and it's almost certain that the mother had intelligence connections. What they are, we don't know. Did Obama have intelligence connections? I think Obama must have shown up on intelligence circles when he just went to Pakistan. What they are, again, we don't know. As I say to you, we know less about Obama than we know about anyone who's ever been President of the United States.
Hello, my name is Ronnie Fitzsimmons and I'm from Sussex County with the Tea Party. I have a concern about what you said regarding Marco Rubio. Is he not eligible to be president, vice president, and is he eligible to be senator?
Yes.
Yes, Senator, because you don't have to be a natural-born citizen to be Senator. So he's definitely qualified to be Senator. He's not a natural-born citizen. So he's not eligible to be Vice President or President.
That's correct.
And this is likely to be a big fight because the Republicans want to ignore it because they'd sure like Marco Rubio to be considered for the ticket. But we're going to fight it because we're going to tell the truth and we're going to make it, this is a constitutional issue, not a partisan issue.
My name is Thomas Flaherty. I'm from Collingswood, New Jersey. I post on Facebook under Thomas Flaherty. I've been blowing this trumpet for over 6 months. I want to thank you so much because I love America and you are a living hero. You have my write-in vote for president, with Joe Arpaio as vice president.
I don't want to be president.
I want to follow up on the prior lady's last question, because what that brings up is the issue I want to bring up, is that there is no clear political solution to this situation. Karl Rove deliberately and arrogantly told me that a natural-born citizen is a citizen. Mitt Romney, of all people, whose father was born in Mexico and could not become president of the United States, and he's got his dream from his father, he should know exactly that Obama is not qualified and that Marco Rubio, who he has telegraphed will be his vice president, is not eligible. And I'm almost more angry with the Republicans than I am with the Democrats. My question is, would you agree that if there is no clear political solution for America, that perhaps the solution is a spiritual solution?
It's one thing I pray on every day, and I think we should pray for the United States of America. I do not believe God let America be established inalienable rights under God to go away and be wiped out by a usurper and a charlatan. That's why we're going to press this case, and we're going to trust in God that it'll be brought to a resolution, and I'm encouraged that it will, just to see you here tonight. Just to realize that in America, we still care, still want to leave this country. I mean, anyone who's been to Arlington, Virginia, and walked and seen the graves, walked to any cemetery in America, the sacrifices that we're asked to make today are nothing compared to those who gave their all. And we owe it both to our forefathers and to those who are following us to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
I have a website called GodSaveUSA.com. My name is Rob Peters. Twofold question. Why do you attribute the blackout in the media to this issue? And why don't we offer $1 million charity donation to AIDS research if Barack Obama will submit this forged birth certificate to a bipartisan committee of Congress? It would be irresistible.
That's a good point. By the way, I want to make the point that if this were a court of law, no copy of any of these documents would be any good. A court would demand the best evidence of the document, and that's the document itself. If Barack Obama really wanted to show you his birth certificate, why didn't he release what's in the vault in Hawaii and open it to qualified court experts who are certified in forensics to come in and examine? Well, because it doesn't exist in this form. If he had it, he'd have shown it. You know, basically, the cover-up is an indication of the lie. There's no other reason to cover up. And as we go forward with this, I think that as we press to see the original documents, which is what we've got to do, Barack Obama will not be able to show them. And these copies are going to be exposed as forgeries.
Why the blackout in the media?
Blackout in the media. I largely think that the media today, we don't have a First Amendment watchdog media anymore. We've got a political media. You know, I'm a baby boomer. I think when the baby boomers pass from the earth, it's going to be a blessing. Because this spoiled generation who has gained the universities and taught communism has, you know, ruined generations of students coming out of colleges who may know everything they can possibly know about Spanish studies and this studies and that studies, but can't compete in the global economy. The globalist agenda, which this I think is ultimately all about, where Obama says, why do I need to be a citizen, natural born citizen? I'm a citizen of the world. What's America? We're post-American. Well, I'm not post-American.
Terry A. Hurlbut, Conservative News and Views. That's conservativenewsandviews.com. Now, one question and then a follow-up, if applicable. Number one, if Barack Hussein Obama II, or whoever he is not qualified to be president, then did we even have a proper election in 2008, and would Joseph Biden even be qualified to succeed him per Amendment 25? And if not, then why in the name of all that is wonderful does not the Speaker of the House step up to the plate and demand an investigation, if for no other reason than to further his own ambition?
All I can say is you're right. You're correct. The entire election is invalid. Biden isn't vice president. He can't succeed. Boehner should succeed, and there should be a congressional investigation. You'll recall that's what Sheriff Arpaio asked for. And Congress also is not doing its duty. No. But remember, the sovereign is we the people. Yeah. And it's time for us to take that back. Right. And these farmers in Washington won't do their job, and get rid of all of them. Yeah. Vote them out. Vote them out.
This whole activity has been going on for many, many years. Given all of the information you've gathered, also what was written in the Sousa's book, which was pretty impressive, do you have any information on where the head of this conspiracy resides?
An easy answer is George Soros. But you got to remember, George Soros also funded McCain. I documented that in WND. At the time of the McCain-Feingold bill, McCain was funded by Soros. I think this starts really with the globalism back at the end of World War II, which says And we need a United Nations, we need a world government, we need treaties that transcend American sovereignty. I don't think we need any of them. I'd be just happy to see the United Nations made into a parking lot. What we need is, we've got a Supreme Court that says they don't have to make decisions on U.S. law. And a Supreme Court justice who says she doesn't think the Constitution is the best document for emulation in the world. Well, I think Ruth Ginsburg ought to retire.
My question is, I had heard that Georgia, his candidacy was challenged and that, I don't know if this is true, but I heard there was some money passed and so forth, and the whole thing got thrown out. Now my question is, what court would hear that if the challenge were to come here as far as his candidacy was concerned? And what is the status of that challenge at this time in this state? And perhaps you can enlighten us, what are some of the statuses of these challenges in other states? Because this is a court matter when you come right down to it, and I need to know what the status is.
Let me give you the short answer to that. First of all, standing, a technical issue, has been a problem in all these legal challenges. And the courts do not like to take up political questions, and they dodge the issue on standing, which is really a cop-out. 1 second, no, come on up. The challenges I think are going to be most successful, there's a series of RICO statutes that are coming out forward. They're going to be challenged in the various states. Remember, we're still racketeering. We're still early on. This is April. We haven't even had the first baseball game in the Major League Series. We've got, what, how many? 165 games, and we've got playoffs, the World Series, and then we vote. It's going to be August before most of Americans are watching this, and a lot's going to happen between now and August. I expect a lot of suits. I also expect some challenges and new legislation entered in the states to demand the secretaries of state look at birth credentials, or very interesting, very quickly, statute introduced in Arizona, which would give standing to anyone to challenge the eligibility of any candidate. That type. In New Jersey, I think the New Jersey courts are going to be very difficult. We've got a couple more experts than me on the New Jersey courts. I don't think the New Jersey courts are going to be receptive to a direct eligibility challenge. We'll just let Commander Kirshner make a comment about that.
I sued in the federal courts in 2009 directly against Obama, and Congress took it to the Supreme Court, and that failed on lack of standing. They said I, as a retired military officer assistant, had no standing to ask this question. But just last month, I brought an action in Pennsylvania, a ballot access challenge, and we flew in witnesses, eyewitnesses, so we didn't have to have copies of copies, but actual people who had did the FOIA request had to spend thousands of dollars to get ready for this case, and the judge said, dismissed, lack of jurisdiction. I mean, we had a courthouse full of people, and they just slammed the door. They don't want to touch this with a 10-foot pole. Now, my attorney in Pennsylvania today sent a letter to the Attorney General of Pennsylvania requesting a criminal investigation of Obama's true legal identity. So we went from the election laws, and now we're going to the criminal laws in PA. So that's what we're doing in PA.
Yeah, just a quick comment about New Jersey. I've done a lot of research into the standing and jurisdiction issue in the state of New Jersey regarding a objection to be on the petition for nomination for president. And it's very clear that the Secretary of State has jurisdiction to hear this question. It's very clear that a citizen, as long as they're a registered voter, regardless of party, has standing to challenge anybody who's going to appear on the ballot. Whether the Secretary of State takes this case or just dismisses it on its face is something else. But legally, it's crystal clear to me and to other attorneys that have researched this, that a citizen, a registered voter in the state of New Jersey has standing, and the Secretary of State not only has a duty, but has the discretion and has an obligation to hear that objection. So it should happen in New Jersey if the rule of law is anything still here. If not, then it just tells you what's going on.
And I think as action, you can get involved when these cases come up. WND will report them, the internet will report them, follow them and get involved in them. That's one thing you can come out of this with. There's going to be successful legal challenges. Our pilot's investigation is a criminal investigation, and that's a whole other standard. Obama's not going to get out of this without a lot of legal challenges.
Hi, Nick Cora. You know, there's a lot of you in this room, and it just so happens at the end of this week, someone challenges. It would be nice if you went to everyone you knew and inundate the Britain and say, listen, hear their case, whether he's eligible. We don't want him on the ballot. He's not an American. The only way we're going to do it is by noise. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. And just so happens, I got a feeling that somebody in New Jersey is going to file a complaint, an objection, maybe just some papers may go in. So if they do, it's up to you, really, your show, their deal, and every one of you. But you know something? You're here tonight, he's preaching to the choir, we're speaking to the choir. How about going out and get the rest of the church? Get out there, because only if you unite, we win.
Okay. I gotta say, I'm very encouraged to see the audiences on this bill. Every time I'm speaking, the audiences are getting larger.
Dan Pope. I don't have a question, I just want to say thank you very much, sir. You're a national treasure. And everyone in the island appreciates what you're doing, and we hope you continue to do it, and we appreciate the risks that you're taking. So we're here to support you too.
Dr. Corsi, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, good to see you. I was going to ask about the states of Vermont and Georgia, but it's already been addressed. So as far as probable cause and the sheriffs, can you expand on that and what maybe we can do from that perspective? Because a lot of us have contacts in other states besides New Jersey.
Well, I think right now, if other jurisdictions would start following Sheriff Arpaio, once the evidence is produced, it's going to be shared and it will be available to be shared once it's in a final form. And I truly think there are suspects here that are going to be identified. So once this begins in a criminal investigation, I think that's going to have a momentum of its own. And other jurisdictions should pile in.
Just to follow up on that. So if I'm in another state, when you get this information together, we can take it to our sheriffs and get people behind us?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. In fact, Sheriff Arpaio already getting requests to testify in other states. And he's going to wait until the investigation is finished. But we're going to have another press conference in about 3 weeks, and more information is going to be released. I can tell you that what's been developed here is beginning to be a very solid case. And as it's presented to the American people, I think look, we have the internet. We have the ability to have meetings like this. I'm always impressed. From the time I was a child, I think of the one person who never wrote a book. You all know where I'm going. Didn't have a newspaper, didn't have the internet. Well, Jesus Christ did pretty good without the mainstream media. Why should we just out of ourselves?
I'm Marty Frasca. You and everybody else that questions the Grand Canyon, they're going to be painted, including Bill O'Reilly on Fox News. He's going to paint you all as kooks, birthdays, mainstream media. He's just going to make a clown out of everybody. But the one guy who knew how to deal with them, may he rest in peace, Andrew Breitbart. Are there any plans to work with Breitbart Media or anything? Because he knew how to get to them.
Well, first of all, I was a great friend of Breitbart's, and it's a tremendous loss. And I told Breitbart, even at CPAC, that we were going to release the information on March 1. And, you know, the family does not want Breitbart's death investigated, but I'm really looking forward to seeing the autopsy. And I knew Breitbart pretty well, and I'm finding it hard to believe that all Breitbart had was that film they released on Derek Bell, and that's pretty lame. I think the videos I showed you tonight are a lot more powerful than what Breitbart people release. I don't think the people following Breitbart are nearly what Breitbart was, and I'm saddened to say that.
My name is Wes, I'm from Texas. I've spoken to my congressman about this several times, only to be dismissed as well. We have a solution, it's called the 2012 election. In the past, I did a stint as the chairman of the State Political Action Committee for the insurance financial service industry, and we would organize a day on the Hill where we would have 2 or 3 representatives go see each congressman and each senator. Could we not organize something like that, have a day on the Hill in Washington and just swarm Congress and take this message to them once you guys get it all organized, and maybe also to our local sheriffs, because most of us, there's easy to find somebody that has a personal relationship with someone like that.
I think it's a very good idea. You know, the problem we've got right now is you've got the elites in the media, the elites in the Republican Party, the elites in the Democratic Party. Karl Rove says, well, we want to beat Obama on issues. Well, sure, let's beat him on issues. Does that mean we can't also point out that he's not eligible to be there in the first place? And by the way, who assigned Karl Rove to tell us what should be on the national agenda? Now, one of the things the sheriff's accumulating is evidence that people have been threatened in the media to even mention this issue. I have personal, we can prove 100% there's a blackout at Fox. We name names. Before we're done, we'll do it. And Fox is not the same channel it was even a year or 2 ago. You know, anybody who thinks it is. But look, again, we are the American people. We can tell the truth from the lies. We don't need the elite. Karl Rove can go back to Texas on his ranch as far as I'm concerned. I don't need his advice to know who to vote for. And if the Republicans want to continue to run candidates like McCain and Romney, they're going to find that we the people aren't very happy with it. When the man changes. Being demonized comes with the territory. It's Saul Alinsky. You know, I wrote a little ebook, Saul Alinsky, the evil genius behind Obama. Saul Alinsky dedicated his book, Rules of Radicals, to Lucifer. The Machiavellian guide for gaining power. In other words, win at any cost. That's what the whole issue about Obama and the nomination. Don't win fair. Bettina said it. Don't win fair, just win. Even if you have to cheat, lie, break the rules, and commit illegalities. Well, I don't go along with that. And I don't think the majority of Americans do it. If we have an elite group of politicians that want to move us into a new world order, let them go off in the sunset in their own new world order. We'll stay back here in the United States of America.
My name is Scott Rosenbush, and I'm from Morris Township. I'd like to make a comment or two and then ask a question if I may, but I want to welcome everybody here to Cincinnati number 3, Free and Accepted Masons Lodge in Morristown. We host a number of the Tea Party meetings. We've had some this big before, but it warmed my heart tonight when I had to look hard for a parking place. So I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I want to thank Mr. Corsi for his presentation, and also Dan and Billy for putting it together for us. They've done a heck of a job. How about a round of applause? I do have one quick question on topic. And I apologize because I didn't read fully the headline that I saw recently, just in the last week, that talked about the discovery of a document in Africa having to do with Mr. Obama. Could you elaborate on that and tell us what that's all about?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
There is a blog, Daily Pen. Anybody know Daily Pen? Well, the guy who writes it is someone who I've been communicating with for about 2 years. And he's very brilliant. I think he's intelligent. He won't tell anybody who he is. I can't even track down his IP address. But he's cracked the code on a lot of the birth issues. This document, he believes that when Anne Dunham came back into the United States, she came back in with a certification of citizenship. It has not yet been found. But I think it's likely to be the case. I'm increasingly not convinced that Barack Obama is the son of Anne Dunham and Barack Obama Sr., which I think that truth will come out too. You know, the Bible tells us that the truth comes out. Secrets don't lie very easily. Eventually the truth comes out. And I think when the truth comes out on Obama as to who he really is, there is a deep, dark secret at the heart of his life. And he's preventing us from seeing it. But if it's that deep and dark, I believe it will come out and we will know what it is. And the final analysis, the mainstream media and the political elites have to be held responsible for complicity in hiding the truth from the American people. In 5 minutes at 9 o'clock, and I'm going to sign books until everybody's happy. I'll shake hands with everybody and say hello. We'll take these last 3 questions quickly, and then we'll be finished. Yes, sir.
I want to get a closing comment. As a World War II veteran, okay, and I almost gave my life, and I'll give it again to stop this whole baloney. And I have one word for this guy Obama, okay? I'm writing a book, and he's going to be in it. And the title is, You Can't Make Sponge Cake Out of Horse Manure.
We're all appreciative of your military service, and I wish for the success of your book. Title, you make me work on it.
Hey, my name's Robbie, and I'm one of the younger people here. I just wanted to say, I'm not the best public speaker, but like, people may think that we don't really know what's going on, and it's understandable, but like, we do see it as younger people. I'm 19, so I guess I'm considered an adult, but I do see what's going on, and it's pretty much just garbage and all that and good stuff. Everything, I didn't know what to think when I was going to come here. I'm not dragging me here, so. I just wanted to say that this is all good stuff, and I'm glad this is information that's starting to come out. And everyone's going to see it eventually, and we're all going to kind of awaken and to the bigger picture. Alright, so that's all.
I'm Richard Miner, and I want to thank you for all the work you've done. And I'm a little worried that you won't be able to accomplish the goal before the deadline. But my narrow question, I was hoping you'd fill me in. I thought I heard that last week Eric Holder sued Sheriff Baer.
There is a suit. The Justice Department has sued, in fact, they had an attorney named Perez who heads the Civil Rights Division, who formerly was an attorney for La Raza, one of the La Raza groups. That shows you where he's at. He accused Arpaio of systematic violations of Hispanic civil rights. And Arpaio said, show me the evidence. And so that's probably headed for federal district court, and I don't think the Department of Justice has any evidence, other than anecdotal stories. And by the way, we're discussing this, I suggested to Sheriff Arpaio that launching this investigation. It took a lot of courage for Arpaio to make this decision. You know, he didn't have to do this. And, well, I think he did, he felt he did. You know, when I was in his office when the Tea Party asked him to do it, Sheriff Arpaio said, now, Corsi, what it is, you're basically asking me to go arrest the President of the United States. Is that right? And I said, yes, Sheriff, but what's taking you so long? And then he said, Corsi, I got it. The only reason you're here is because if I don't listen to you, nobody's going to listen to you. Is that right? I said, Sheriff, well, not entirely. There may be others, but I'm certainly hoping you're going to listen to us. And I suggested to him that this would, in fact, back off the Justice Department. His lawyers agreed. And he said, well, why do you think that, Corsi? And I said, well, because Holder doesn't know everything you might have. Do you really want to poke his fingers in your eye? And Arpaio said, I guess you're right. If Obama can investigate me, I can investigate Obama. Right. And with courage like that, I think that we all owe a debt of gratitude to Sheriff Arpaio. He's running for re-election. He had a Tea Party meeting like this on Saturday. Almost 1,500 people showed up. And they signed, almost all of them signed a petition. They found a clause in the legislature, in the laws in Arizona, where one house can pass a resolution demanding that the Secretary of State take action. So they're trying to get one house to pass a resolution demanding the Secretary of State examine Obama's birth credentials. And it's likely to happen. Okay, in conclusion, I want to thank everybody. The venue has been terrific. Thank you for this wonderful hall. Dan and Billy, thank you for putting this together. And I want to thank all of you. With this attendance, I'm confident there's a bright future for the United States. I just want to end by saying, God bless the United States of America.
Dr. Corsi's going to be here for a while. He'll still be signing books. We'll be serving refreshments downstairs. There's one thing I'd like everyone to do is just stop for a minute. Before we leave, let's turn to the flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good night.